So we have a different society than a Orion society. Orion societies are very ordered, and they are ruled by one ruler, the queen, and she just decides what the entire population is going to do. She is the ultimate leader, I guess you could say, or one who sets out the course for the whole entire empire. Right? Just recently, this year before last, the queen was captured and placed in what is called the Phantom Zone for her crimes that she committed during her reign in this last war that lasted 10,000 years. One thing that is pertinent here is that an Orion year is 1,000 of our years. They are very long-lived creatures. And the way they got to be long-lived creatures is that they used to eat a fruit that grew on their planet. 1 million years ago, this fruit looked sort of like a coconut with a kiwi exterior, and it wasn't hard, but it had an interior flesh like a pineapple. And they were all about the size of a giant watermelon. So they would eat this fruit, and it would completely kill any germ. It kept them in perfect health, and it kept them alive as long as they ate the fruit. But when the queen started a war with Sirius, they didn't have, fruit became scarce, so they had to find some other food source, something to keep them alive and going. And the queen had them start eating meat, and it changed them to the point where they lost a lot of their abilities. But that was over millions of years ago. A normal lifeline years in Orion would be 100,000 years. They could live 100,000 years of our years and keep on going.
That's amazing.
As long as, yes, and that's why
I can't even. My mind can't hardly even grasp that. I mean,
it's hard. It's not easy.
For universes upon universes and upon universes out there,
yes,
life is so big.
Yes,
life is
big.
huge.
But we only think about where we're going to go to work and when we're going to go to school. And do we have enough food to eat and a house to live in and clothes and a car to drive around in? And do we have money? That's important to us.
Yes,
and we don't think about other things. So we've got a lot.
What happened there that we don't think? Why did we stop being, creative? I mean, of course, I guess I do know someone took over they wanted money and power, and they got greedy and set up this government and all the things that now that we bow to them and their rules, and we think they're great because they propagandized us to thinking that they have to bow to. We have to bow down to them.
Yes, this is how Orions got control of us. First, they genetically changed our body to where we can work harder, and they changed our thinking abilities. Now it is very difficult for us to remember things, to think things through, and we say, oh, that's just you're getting old or something like that. No, that's not exactly true. When somebody is controlling you mentally and gives you a mental command, don't remember this, you can't remember it no matter what. And an Orion can sit. Go ahead.
But then we think that's true, They have gotten us to the point where we just say, yes, that's right. And they're telling us that, what we can do and what we can't do. And we say, okay, that's great. but we can't get past that for some reason. Only just a very few. So all this that we're telling people, wake up, people, and they don't listen.
Well, it's hard to listen if you're in a poor world country when you're hungry. All you want to think about is food. But in America, where we have plenty of food and plenty of money and plenty of resources, we're easily trapped too, because all we were thinking about is what's the next biggest game we're going to watch on TV, or is our cell phone the most popular one, and do we have the right clothes, and that sort of thing. We're trapped also, but we were designed to be trapped this way because it's easier to control the population. Because the Orion creatures that came to this earth 1 million years ago, they have been experimenting with us. They wanted to see how the smart monkeys that they reproduced could be controlled. And they did this by appearing to these creatures, these hybrids, half human, half Orion, and they would tell the hybrids, I am a god, bow down before me. And then they would perform some tricks, like with a hologram or a light show or a laser beam or something like that. And then they would hypnotically, mentally tell us, bow down and believe me. And so over the years, as you see how human history has evolved on this planet, we have been captured, we have been altered genetically, and we are now in a state of being where we easily believe something that's put on paper, or somebody with a degree from a college, having a degree of some sort, tells us, then we believe what they say is absolutely true when we have been actually lied to. The Orions lie to us. They don't tell us the truth, and that's because they want to keep us. So the best way to lie to a human is to tell them, oh, God told you this. I am your God. I told you this. And we believe it. And it's not to say anything bad about what a person believes, but it's to just say, be aware of what you are learning and how you are living. Is what we're doing today on this planet helping us have better lives, or are we subjugated to poisons in the atmosphere, poisons in the water, poisons in the food? So now we're getting used to being poisoned all the time. And scientists don't know why this is happening, because they are also controlled. They are told what to tell us. So we're getting lied to from the moment we arrive on this planet to the moment we leave. And it's just an amount of time that we need to wake up, realize what we're doing. And one of the ways we do this is in the New Presentation Foundation information. We do what is called sing a song. And a song is only very simple. It is new, new, you, new, you. When you sing that, you change the frequency around you and the atmosphere around you. And you bring it to a point where you can ask a real guide who is with us all the time, but we can't see them, but we can ask them a question and see what answer is given to us in our dreams, or maybe the next day on a TV show, or read a book that has the answer that we need. The answer is always given. It's given immediately, and it's given fully and truthfully. So it is one help that can help us sustain our lives and also get us to the point where we notice more and more about our environment. And if we support and take care of the environment that we're living in, the environment will support and take care of us. Many of the tribes that live in America, the American Indians, maybe the Aborigines in New Zealand or Australia, they learned how to live with nature. Some tribes in Africa, South America, any of the indigenous people have a respect for the land and they are able to survive. But in America, in the modern world, their only way that they survive is if you get a job, and you have to work from the time you're born to the time you leave this earth. So here it is, an opportunity and a conundrum at the same time. Do we go back to the old days of living? I don't know. Was it better to live like Tarzan, or is it better to live like a modern worker in a factory? Probably working hard labor to provide for your family. Which would you rather be doing? Eating fruit and vegetables that are pure and whole and good, and not getting so tired that you come home and you yell at your children after work, go to sleep, get up, do it again. Why do you think that there are so many tragedies happening in America and around this world with war, continual war? It's because we're angry and upset. And this is what the Orions want us to, how they want us to behave. The Orion people and their society is different than our people and our society because we were made by the Orions. And we're just slaves to them, nothing more than that. So they don't consider us on their equal. We're just cattle, a cow, a moo cow that can be eaten are used to pull a wagon. And we pull our wagon every day when we get up and go to work or get up and go to school until we can no longer pull the wagon. So what can you do to make your life better? Wake up, look at your dreams, sing New Year You, ask a question, see what the answer is. It is given to you immediately and fully and completely. But you have to take the time to become awake enough to see it, yes, and aware.
That's one of the big boo-boos here. People just think that everything is going to go along fine, and they're going to get the job, and they're going to get the promotion. And when I try to present something like this, I say, one person said, "Oh, well, gee, I'm happy. What's the matter? There's nothing more. I got a good job. I've got this. I've got 2 children. We take vacations. We're fine. We don't need anything else." But people don't want to see that there is more to life. There is so much more, but they don't want to see it because they're happy. They've got a good home, a good job, children, and they're making a living, and they go on vacations. Everything is fine. They really don't want. They think that I'm unhappy, and far from it. I'm just getting a taste of what wonderful things I can do out there, and wonderful opportunities to get away from this drudgery. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, it gets so boring. There's a whole universes out there. My golly. By singing the new you and realizing that the guides are here to help us and having faith in it. First, I guess you have to be wondering, is there anything more? What are those stars in the sky, as a child would ask? Why are we here? Why am I born to this family? And why am I not born to that family? Or I could be a rich family. Why? Who put me here? All these questions that children ask, or some children ask, or when they go to the beach, they build sand castles. Do they think that that's real, or who lives in them? Children are very curious. And
excellent question.
Yeah, Val has something here that he wants to ask.
Lila, let's ask the listening audience if they have any questions. I know there's some listeners here too. Listeners, do you have any questions for Claudia or Lila?
Hi, Val. Hi, Lila. Hi, Claudia. This has been really fun to listen to. It's a great show. You're possibly opening up the awareness of others, and I've got a great view from listening, and it really brought some things full circle for me, too, because there's a lot of people, especially the women on this planet. I know that Claudia knows this, that there's like 2/3 of the women on this planet that are being abducted and creating these hybrid children. So it just brought things a little bit more full circle, more of an understanding about what's happening with the Orions, the Syrians, and their involvement with the humans, especially today. There's a lot of young women in their 20s. I know there's some groups in Sedona and other parts of the world where these women have gathered together and they're paying attention to these real side experiences that they're having with these hybrid children. So we'll see what happens from that. And I know Henry had a real side experience with that too, if he would like to share it to give a view. But I just appreciate that you guys are sharing this and also sharing the new you and the real awareness that everyone has a real awareness, and we all have 5 bodies here in creation to deal with too, but that we can all get our own answers from our own real experiences on the real side. We can ask life, we can ask the real universal guides to show us, and it may take each person however long to see whatever it is they want to see, but it's awesome that this is available and it's there, and that we're letting the world and people know something very simple, singing you every night before bed, and people can get their own real experiences and also see what's really going on with a lot of things that sound good. I know there's a lot of people that are excited about some of the different alien races, but at the same time, some of these races are doing things unconsciously to the humans, and people are getting tap-lined too. And like Claudia here and Sandy and others here have seen the reptilians and many people with different corporations of the world and at different workshops, like Love and Light workshops and spiritual and God ideas. So it's a great definition that you're bringing out, Claudia, about Enki and basically what they've done with the God ideas and getting the humans to submit and causing a whole lot of ruckus and confusion here. But actually, when you have the bigger picture, and it really starts to make a lot of sense. So there's a whole lot more to it. But I'll just see. Did you want to say something?
Hi. Thanks for doing the show, Claudia, Lila, and Val. I had an experience that Kelsey referred to a few months ago with one of these ladies who talks about the hybrid children that she has on the real side. And so on the real side, and I saw her. We were on a boat in the middle of an ocean, and it was dark, and a spaceship came down, and there was some creepy looking beings came out of it, and they kind of looked at the 3 of us, and they could see all of the experiences we had been through this whole lifetime and even other lifetimes. And so they quickly decided that they wanted this particular lady because she could see certain things and she was open to the idea of going on their ship and, agreeing to whatever they were going to subject her to. And so I was just seeing how on the real side, here in the physical, this lady is talking about how she's having this wonderful experience with these children, these hybrid children she has on the real side, and she wants to bring them here to the physical. And she has about 10, and she's in her late 20s. I think she's quite young. So I was wondering, Claudia, if you could explain what's really going on with the hybrid children a little bit more so, for a woman that may or may not be aware that they have these hybrid children. What is the intent of the reptilians with this hybrid children program? What is the effect of it on the females here on Earth?
Yes. Briefly, going back to the statement that I made about the longevity of the Orions, they liked experimenting on us And they took, like I said, a monkey, enhanced it genetically, just like now you read about test tube babies that are enhanced genetically because their genes are changed and their DNA is changed. All of this happens.